What's up, guys? Today we're going to react to MNJ TV, which, if you don't know who MNJ TV is, he's the goat of PokeTubers. I realize I just said that and I'm wearing PM7 shirt. John, MNJ TV. I mean, y'all are awesome. We're going to watch his most popular YouTube video, which is what happens inside of a Pokeball. This is going to be my blind reaction. And if you like the video, first off, go subscribe to MNJ TV. But also like my video, because also subscribe because it's totally free, and if you don't like the channel, you can always change your mind later. So do that, please.
This is so 10 years ago, and I love it. Michael, I love your content. Oh, I gotta see it coming. And then JTV Pokevids. Sceptile, I know you love Sceptile. I didn't really realize Haxorus. That's pretty sick. If you don't know, MNJTV is known for his greetings, Pokefans. That's a terrible impersonation. I'm sorry, don't judge that. Does he do it now? Did this start 10 years ago?
Greetings, Pokefans.
Michael, I need to hear your reaction to your very slowed down version of the Greetings Pokefans. I need to hear it. We all cringed at ourselves 10 years ago.
And I'm back to answer another popular Pokemon question. What happens inside a Pokeball?
Okay, so I've got to say this first before we get started. Whenever I was a young little kid, so like I was born in 1994. Yeah. But I always thought that, like, I just imagined that was some sort of energy. Whenever the Pokeball opened, it basically turned them into some sort of energy that went into the Pokeball. And then, like, if you transferred the Pokemon to the PC, it was basically, like, stored in a cloud. That's just where my brain went. So maybe I was a smart little 6-year-old or something whenever these games came out. But I always just imagined the Pokemon going in energy, going to the ball, the lights shut off, and then they come out whenever you need them. I'm interested to hear what Mike has to say.
More specifically, what is it like for the Pokemon inside Pokeballs? At first glance, it seems like nothing much.
Yeah.
When a Pokemon is sent out from its Pokeball,
The white light when it comes out, red light when it goes in.
Materializes into the Pokemon. When it is returned, it is hit by a red beam of energy from the Pokeball and then becomes that energy, being absorbed back into the Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
Because of these repeating depictions, many assume that Pokemon are simply converted into energy inside the Pokeball. Either that or converted to data.
That's kind of weird. Maybe I was pretty smart.
So, like, Pokeballs are USB flash drives or something. However, this theory has evidence against it.
So, I've only been in the PokeTubing realm of things for like 2-3 years. Has this always been a meme? Like, is this a meme that was a thing back then? Skeptical Corfish? If not, that's fun. If he just came up with this off the top of his head, that's great.
The main evidence against it is the fact that Pokemon appear to be conscious inside the Pokeball. Pokemon are frequently shown being able to hear commands shouted out by the trainer right before the Pokemon is sent out.
That is true. Because they always shout the moves out before they actually do them. Before they throw, like Pikachu, Thunderbolt, go. Okay. Aww. Mudkip's a good boy.
Also, Pokemon will often burst out of their Pokeball on their own, usually in response to something that was said or occurred outside the Pokeball.
Yeah.
You're
Psyduck.
not the type to fall for that mushy stuff. Well... Or are you?
Psyduck guy. Hey.
Now what? Return!
And in the new series of the anime, Pokemon XY, Pokemon are even seen moving their Pokeball in response to something the trainer says, as if to nod.
Okay.
All right, Bunnelby, return. Thanks a lot. You
I never
really
watched
helped out.
this. I never played XY, or
It's
I never
awesome you're
played like
coming
Sun
with us,
Moon.
Smokey.
I need to find a way to do that.
Froaky's our first friend in Kalos.
But the main evidence for Pokemon being conscious inside the Pokeballs is this clip from the black and white episode, The Light of Flossessi Ranch.
I'll just bet you Dragonite's probably blushing in its Pokeball right now. Huh? Cutie
Oh,
pie.
Dragonite. Dragonite's not happy, is he? And
Dragonite both
how did they know what he was doing? Plot armor, kinda, maybe.
responds to something said outside the Pokeball and
That
is
was not
visually
the right term.
represented inside the Pokeball simply sitting there, not acting as energy. Also, Pokemon are shown repeatedly in the manga as simply being shrunken down and sitting
I've seen
inside
that
the
before. I
Pokeball.
don't know where, but I've seen that.
So, most of the evidence points to the Pokemon simply being shrunken down to fit inside the Pokeball and then just sitting there. The white and red energy is simply the process for shrinking and growing the Pokemon. This would
So-
explain why Pikachu
so what's it
doesn't
like when
being
they're in
inside
there?
its Pokeball in the anime.
Hmm.
It also explains why Pokemon owned by trainers don't seem to have the need for sleep. They can simply
Except
sleep
for
inside the
Snorlax.
Pokeball. Lucian also mentions in Platinum version that Pokemon have natural instincts to curl up in order to heal, and Pokeballs were designed to mimic that behavior. This method does seem to be fairly inhumane, though. Having Pokemon shoved down into a small ball to sit there until their trainer decides to send them out? That doesn't seem fair.
No, it does not. It's
However,
inhumane.
most Pokemon don't actually seem to mind being inside their Pokeball. Pikachu is really the only one that seems to dislike it. So, maybe that shot of
Dragonite.
Dragonite was just put in for comedic effect. Maybe it was just a silly visual representation added in to get a bit of a laugh. If that is the case, then the most likely answer is something known as the ideal environment theory.
I like this. Before he gets into this, I like this, and this is a good picture for it. Ideal environment theory would probably be something just like Pikachu goes into an open field. Charmander can go into a volcano. I imagine the Pokemon Snap kind of environment there. The more I think about it, it's a children's show, basically. So it's probably nothing inhumane. It's probably more of a this is probably the right route for it here.
The theory states that the inside of the Pokeball is engineered to mimic the specific Pokemon's natural habitat, complete with food and
So the water
perfect places
Pokemon
to
will
sleep
live
and
in something
relax.
like this.
There's
That's
no
cool.
evidence for
I like
it,
that.
but it's nicer to think about than the alternative. It is also suggested that in addition to the
Definitely.
natural habitat being mimicked, the Pokemon is supplied with a television, workout equipment, a shower, masseuse, training dummy, video game system, photo of the trainer, bed, and hot tub.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
completely
kind of what I was
absurd,
thinking about.
but it's fun to think about. So in the end, most
And part of me kind of thought whenever I was a kid, at some point, whenever you caught the Pokemon, maybe it went back to something kind of like Professor Oak's laboratory, where like they just ran free and were to do whatever. But that wouldn't really make sense to like call them out. So I guess that was just little old me.
of the
Little
evidence
young
points
me.
to the Pokemon being shrunk down and sitting inside the ball.
Imagine
that the
Mewtwo
energy
just chilling on
representation
Pokeball.
is the process
Probably not
of
a very
size
happy
change.
guy.
However, if you want to feel better about putting those digital pieces of code inside a tiny ball, just choose to believe the ideal environment theory.
I like
Then we
that.
can
We'll
be
sit with
jealous
that.
of the Pokemon inside the Pokeballs. Personally, I'd rather be jealous than guilty. That's all I have for now, Poke fans. Feel free to suggest other
You gotta
Pokemon
catch them
video ideas
all.
in the comments below, and don't forget, gotta catch them all. Be sure to check out my other Pokemon videos.
Yes, you do. And if you're not already subscribed or following MNJ TV on anything, make sure you go do that. MNJ TV's link will be in the description below. I've got a lot of videos I want to react to, and hopefully these videos do well, so we can do more of them. So thanks for watching, and until next time.